ever finally gotten the thing you worked for and felt nothing? Have you ever looked at a life that should make you happy? The clean apartment, the curated feed, the polished version of yourself, and felt strangely dead inside it? Have you ever been so busy fixing every flaw in yourself that you forgot to actually live in the one life you have? You think you need to try harder. You think you are almost perfect, just a few flaws away. The Japanese have a word that says the opposite, that says the flaws were never the problem. They call it Wabi-Sabi. This is the story of why the most exhausting thing you do is chase a flawless version of yourself that does not exist, what a cracked bowl mended with gold can teach you about your own scars, and how a 400-year-old way of seeing can give you back a peace that perfection will never deliver. Before I tell you the story, do me a favor. If you are tired of chasing a perfect version of yourself and never arriving, hit subscribe. This channel is for the man worn down by the pressure to be flawless. And in the comments, tell me the one flaw about yourself you have spent the most years trying to fix. Be honest, be specific, we read them. Wabi-Sabi is 2 words. Wabi once meant the loneliness of the hermit, and over centuries it softened into the quiet beauty of simplicity, the richness of having little. Sabi meant withered, worn, chilled, and it became the beauty that age and use leave on a thing, the grace of weathering. Together, Wabi-Sabi is the beauty of what is imperfect, impermanent, and incomplete. It is the exact opposite of the world you are drowning in, the world of the flawless, the new, the endlessly polished, the filtered. And here is the thing that world will never tell you. The flaw is not the enemy of the beauty. The flaw is where the beauty enters. Let me show you what perfection actually does to a man. There is a story about Sen no Rikyu, the master who shaped the Japanese tea ceremony 500 years ago. As a young student, he was told to clean his teacher's garden. He raked the ground until it was spotless. He gathered every single fallen leaf. He made the garden flawless, perfect, not one thing out of place. And then he looked at it and felt that something was wrong. It was dead. So he walked to a maple tree, took the trunk in his hands and shook it, and let a scattering of leaves fall at random across the perfect ground. Only then was the garden beautiful. The perfection had killed it. The handful of scattered leaves, the imperfection, brought it back to life. You are the spotless garden. You have raked yourself flawless and wondered why you feel dead. The modern world has sold you the perfect ground and hidden from you the truth that the scattered leaves were always the beautiful part. Now let me show you the bowl, because this is where Wabi-Sabi stops being an idea and becomes something you can hold. In Japan, there is a craft called Kintsugi. When a bowl breaks, they do not throw it away and they do not hide the damage. They mend the cracks with gold. The gold is poured into the exact lines where the bowl shattered, so that the break becomes the brightest, most beautiful, most valuable part of the whole piece. A Kintsugi bowl is worth more broken and mended than it ever was unbroken. Sit with that. The crack is not the flaw in the bowl. The crack, filled with gold, is the most precious thing about it. You have cracks, the failure that humbled you, the loss that rearranged you, the scar you do not talk about. You have spent years trying to sand them flat, to present a smooth, unbroken surface to the world, and it has exhausted you, because you have been throwing away your own gold. The Wabi-Sabi man does not hide the crack. He does not even merely accept it. He understands that the crack, lived through honestly, is where his depth, his character, his gold actually is. The unbroken man is a machine-made bowl. Forgettable. The mended man is Kintsugi. Think of the men you actually trust. Not one of them is flawless. You trust them precisely because you can see where they broke and healed. Because the gold in their cracks tells you they have lived through something and come back. The flawless man tells you nothing, and so you cannot trust him with anything. And here's the part that will set you free. Resisting your own flaws is the exact thing that destroys your inner peace, not the flaws themselves. The resistance. Every hour you spend at war with the imperfect parts of yourself is an hour of friction, of grinding, of a mind that cannot be still because it is always fixing. Peace does not come when you finally become flawless, because that day never arrives. Peace comes the moment you stop fighting the texture your life has carved into you and start observing it instead. So here is the Wabi-Sabi practice, and it is a form of meditation, though it asks nothing fancy of you. Sit down, close your eyes, breathe. And instead of trying to empty your mind or fix your thoughts, do the opposite. Notice the weathered parts, the worry that keeps returning, the old regret, the flaw you were about to judge. And as each one rises, do not fix it and do not fight it. Just look at it the way you would look at the silver patina on an old blade, or the worn grain of an old wooden step. With interest, without judgment. This is mine. This is the texture of a life that has actually been lived. The Japanese have a phrase for the feeling underneath this, mono no aware. The gentle sorrow at the passing of things. It is the ache you feel watching the cherry blossoms fall, and the Japanese consider the blossom most beautiful not at full bloom but in the moment it scatters. Because it is leaving. Because it will not last. Mono no aware is the practice of loving a thing precisely because it is impermanent and imperfect, and that includes the impermanent, imperfect thing that is you. When a thought or a feeling rises in your meditation, let it have its moment and let it pass, the way you would watch one blossom fall. You do not need to keep it. You do not need to fix it. You only need to see it before it goes. Now, why do you resist all this so hard? Why is letting go of perfection so difficult? Because the ego uses perfection as a shield. As long as you are still working on yourself, still almost there, still a few flaws from being ready, you never have to show anyone the unfinished human that you actually are. Perfection is the most respectable way to hide. The polished surface keeps everyone at a safe distance, and it keeps you safe from the terror of being seen as you are. But here is the cost. No one can love a polished surface. They can only admire it. Connection, the real kind, only happens between two unfinished, imperfect, cracked human beings who have stopped pretending. The Wabi-Sabi man drops the shield. He lets the cracks show. And he discovers that the cracks are the only place another person could ever actually get in. This is the freedom of discarding what we might call the standardized self, the flawless identical version of a successful man that the feed sells you 10,000 times a day. You were never meant to be that. That man does not exist. He is a composite, an average, a machine-made bowl with no gold in him. Underneath your effort to become him is the actual you, weathered and particular and unrepeatable, and that man is the only one worth being, and the only one anyone has ever actually loved. So how do you live this in a world that prizes the new and the shiny and the flawless? You practice small refusals. When you catch yourself curating, presenting the polished version, stop and let one true imperfect thing show. When you catch yourself at war with a flaw, pause and ask whether you are looking at a crack that gold could fill instead of a defect to grind away. When you reach for the new thing because the old thing is worn, hold the worn thing a moment longer and let yourself see the beauty the wear has given it. And when your mind starts the old chase, the endless optimization, the becoming, return to the one radical Wabi-Sabi sentence. I am allowed to be unfinished. Because you are not a project to be completed. You are a living, weathering, imperfect thing, and the cracks you have spent your life ashamed of are the exact places the gold was always meant to go. True peace was never on the other side of becoming perfect. It was waiting, the whole time, in the quiet of your own imperfect, impermanent, unrepeatable reality. Stop the chase. Rest in what you already are. If this video reached something in you, leave a comment with the one crack in your life that, looking back, turned out to be filled with gold. Be specific. Someone else needs to read that they are not alone in it. Remember this: you are not a flaw to be fixed. You are a bowl to be filled with gold. Sit still. Cut clean. Walk on. See you in the next video.